Hi there, it's Adam bringing you another video to the channel. We are continuing the 21-22 UK World Airport Series in 1/400 scale. Going to get straight into the update. Probably one of the busier updates and maybe a little bit more diverse in terms of what we're showcasing in terms of schedules. And this is focusing on the last update of for the Saturday schedules around about 8:30 in the evening. Then obviously we'll transition to Sunday. The weekends generally are kind of quiet in terms of schedules, as you can maybe imagine. But I have cut out certain times as we've gone through Saturday, and probably the same for Sunday, where schedules are a little bit more limited and it's not really worth doing an actual update on, because generally speaking it's schedules that we've kind of seen featured in other updates, and it gets a bit repetitive and a little bit kind of boring. But we'll start off, like I said, with the update on this far side. Start off with this EasyJet A320neo. So this has just arrived from Jersey. It's now on a night stop, so that's it, done for the day. Last flight. Operating as U2896, registration Golf Uniform Zulu Hotel Bravo, and like I said, arriving from Jersey for the last flight of the day for that frame. Then we have a evening Wizz Air flight, registration Hotel Alpha Lima Tango Alpha, Wizz Air A321, operating as W619151916 from and to Krakow. Then we have this Sri Lankan A330-300. This is operating as UL 503 and 504 in and obviously back out to Colombo. This is registration for Romeo Alpha Lima Lima. Then we transition across. We have another Virgin Atlantic 7879, a Dreamliner, registration Golf Victor November Echo Whiskey. This is also on a night stop, which will be staying overnight. As VS, arriving back as VS 385 from Mali. So this will be a night stop. So given the schedules that we have with the TUIs and Jet 2s, going in Sunday, this will probably position onto a remote stand, or let's say, you know, there was a maintenance area, this will probably get repositioned there, get checked over, the other flights can come in accordingly, they can go out early doors. So whichever aircraft will occupy this stand, that'll go out, then this Virgin Atlantic will reposition back on stand, ready for its departure, obviously wherever it's going to, and obviously passengers can board through the jet bridge or air bridge, as you would expect. So that's a little bit of an idea as, again, to how the schedules work, or how they would work in a manner of realism, if that makes sense, going into the next day. Next up we have this TUI 737 MAX 8, registration Golf Tango Uniform Mike Foxtrot, arriving as BY3659 from Mahon. We'll also head back out as 3690 to Mallorca, so yeah, pretty much a similar region of the Balearic Islands. Again, another late service, another late flight operating. Obviously we'll come back sort of early hours in the morning, and again it's a bit like when I think the Ibiza flight we did, or that we've got scheduled. Again, it's a bit of a late one and goes out, which doesn't happen on the daily, but yeah, the odd day or two does have sort of one frame or sort of a series of schedules operating 3 times through the day for TUI. And then on the far side we have this Qatar 777-200 LR, registration Alpha 7 Bravo Bravo Hotel, arriving as QR15 and heading out as QR16 from and to Doha. Then we will pan across. We have the DHL 767-300. This is now obviously pushing back for departure as DHK 362 to Leipzig. Registration Golf Delta Hotel Lima Echo. Then we have the DHL A300, which we had scheduled quite regular, but since there's only really one in 1/400 scale that we've currently got that is kind of active, we in this kind of period, we switched the schedules to Saturday only to accommodate for the singular kind of frame. But registration Delta Alpha Echo Alpha Kilo, arriving in from Stockholm as BCS 6788. This is also a night stop, and again will depart more likely without me looking, with more than likely with the departure time in the early hours of the morning on Sunday. And then we have this Singapore Airlines Cargo 747-400. This is actually scheduled. I took this from Flight Radar 24, so it's actually a scheduled service as SQ7394 from Sharjah, and then heads out as 7393 to Amsterdam. Registration 9 Victor Sierra Foxtrot Quebec. This is one of two active in this time period. The other one being Sierra Foxtrot Papa, I think, is the other registration. And again, it is a scheduled service that I've included. I think there's only, I don't know if there's like another one or two on 1/400 scale, which I do have as well. But the other airframe wasn't actually active during this time period, or is no longer active. Probably broken up or scrapped or changed operator or something like that. But yeah, gives you a nice little bit of an overview there of the cargo. While I was doing this update, I kind of thought, in long-term presence, I do kind of envision doing a much bigger UK model airport. So obviously I've got these other projects in mind, so it's going to be very much in this distant future. But if I do another UK model airport, I'd probably envision doing something a lot bigger, kind of like what I've done before. Some of the older projects, 6x4 or around about that size, because I do have a lot of models due. Obviously times are changing with aircraft frames coming in, certainly with like A350s and things like that. Do have a lot of Virgin Atlantic models, Virgin Atlantic A350s due, Cathay Pacific A350s. Emirates have obviously updated their sort of design and livery. A350s pretty much recently introduced for them as well. The A380 has obviously been updated, the Emirates Sky Cargo, which has been a recent release or a recent announcement from Gemini Jet Sim 1/400 scale. So kind of looking forward to them. Amongst other airlines as well, of course. We never know really what's going to change and how airlines are going to adapt, and if they're going to make any livery changes. And obviously if I do go into that side of things, it will be very much a modern day kind of project in 1/400 scale. But of course, I keep going on about it. I'm focused on my my 1/200 why am I listening to the airlines? 1/200 Australian concept. Then obviously a 1/200 scale UK model airport concept based on Manchester and Terminal 2, and then in the meantime, while I'm probably focusing on them, doing a 1/400 scale US kind of model airport to incorporate Southwest Airlines as a major airline that I want to feature. which again, well, that'll probably fit in here quite nicely. Then again, over time, yeah, I think a distant project will be to do a revised UK model airport series, ideally with, you know, runway, taxiways, variation of maybe stands as well. Look at maybe different design things and try and work something out in that sense. But yeah, over time, I think that's kind of inevitable, just given the amount of models I've got, and obviously, like I say, time's changing and things like that. A lot of models that are not really being featured or won't be featuring once I get them, certainly. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this video. I think it's probably one of the better updates, if I'm totally honest with you, in terms of diversity and kind of movements. But yeah, let me know what you think if you want to, and again, I appreciate anybody that watches the videos.